Heartwarming revelation. Little girl exposes her billionaire dad to an amazing hidden look-alike. Lily stared out the window. Rain drummed against the glass like 1,000 tiny drummers auditioning for a band. She curled up on the plush pillows of the living room couch, her reflection staring back at her, surrounded by gold accents and expensive art. She didn't belong here, not really. While her father, Jack, built an empire, she felt like a guest in a mansion filled with treasures but devoid of warmth. Where were the picnics, the mud pies, and the unfiltered laughter? Her heart yearned for a connection, something real amidst all the luxury. On a rainy afternoon, Lily ventured into the attic, the one place in their home that felt like a hidden world waiting to be explored. Dust motes floated in the air like little stars as she rummaged through old boxes. Her fingers brushed the edge of a worn, dusty box, sending a wave of anticipation through her. Inside, she found a treasure trove of family artifacts. Old letters, forgotten toys, and most importantly, a faded photograph. In it, her father was a boy, grinning ear to ear, next to a boy who looked exactly like him. Who was he? Curiosity ignited within her, and with every ounce of determination, she vowed to uncover this mystery. That boy was Sam, a mechanic living in a working-class neighborhood, battling against the odds to make a better life for himself and his family. Overwhelmed with excitement, Lily reached out to him, hoping to bridge the gap between their worlds, both so different, yet strangely alike. Their friendship blossomed over lemonade stands and park adventures. As they sat on the grass, sharing their dreams, Lily learned about Sam's life. He spoke of scuffed shoes and harsh looks from people who judged him. But as he talked about his dreams of being a mechanic and supporting his family, her heart swelled. She realized the struggles he faced echoed stories her dad told her about his own childhood. They played and laughed, but also shared heartaches, discovering understanding through vulnerability. But back home, Jack sensed something was changing. The distance with Lily felt heavier, a weight he couldn't shake off. Guilt gnawed at him. Here he was, a billionaire, yet his daughter craved what he thought he had left behind. Connection, authenticity, love. The more Lily learned about Sam, the more Jack felt pressure to confront a past he buried deep inside. In a bold plan, Lily decided to orchestrate a surprise meeting between her father and Sam. She dreamed of weaving together their disparate lives, convinced that a shared moment could heal the rifts in her family. Jack entered the living room, uncertainty clinging to him like mist. As the boys exchanged glances, the air thickened with unspoken words. It was a moment ripe with tension, a knot tightening in Jack's chest as he faced the harsh reflection of his past. "Dad, I want you to meet someone who mirrors our family in ways you've forgotten," Lily began, holding up the photograph that had brought them together. Just then, Jack's expression shifted from curiosity to dread. It was as if a curtain had fallen, hiding the truths he had kept buried for years. Could this unexpected meeting challenge everything he believed about success? Would it create the connection Lily so desperately sought? As silence filled the room, the unasked questions hung like a heavy cloud. Jack's heart raced, a sudden wave of nostalgia crashing over him. He could hardly breathe. The photograph in Lily's hands tugged at memories he had purposefully tucked away. The boy in the picture, with the same warm smile, shared more than just a resemblance. He was a reminder of a time when life felt simpler, freer. Lily's hopeful gaze pierced through the haze that surrounded Jack, and he realized that this little girl, with her big dreams, was desperately trying to forge a bond one he had neglected for far too long. "Who is he?" Jack finally managed, his voice hoarse, each word weighted. Lily's enthusiasm sputtered briefly before reigniting. "His name is Sam." "Yes, amazing, Dad. We've spent a lot of time together. Yes, just like you were full of dreams and determination." Jack felt a strange mixture of anger and regret. He had fought hard to make a life for Lily, prioritizing his career and ambitions only to find that in his pursuit of success, he had overlooked what truly mattered. "Why would you want to bring him here?" Jack asked, his voice steadying but still laced with confusion. "Your worlds apart." "Because I want you to meet him," Lily urged. "Yes, real Dad. P.S. Not just a story you tell me about your past. I've seen him work hard, caring for his family. He reminds me of you, he even looks a bit like you. Jack swallowed hard, wrestling with his emotions. The room had quieted around them, and he could feel the stillness pressing against him. Fear bubbled up inside him as he bit back against the tide of vulnerability that threatened to sweep him under. His daughter was reaching out, pulling him toward a world he'd once known, yet had since abandoned. Before he could respond, Lily glanced nervously at Sam, whose eyes held a flicker of uncertainty, the weight of their shared reality hanging between them. Dad, please, just talk to him. You might find something you've lost, something we both need. After a long pause, Jack looked at the photograph again. He could see the joy in his younger self's eyes, a joy that felt foreign now. Would meeting Sam throw open the doors of his past, or would it only remind him of all the things he had lost? Would this boy's dreams make him reflect on his own, or only deepen the ache of regret? The tension was thick as Jack took a step forward. All right, let us talk. Lily nearly leaped at the chance, beaming with hope. Thank you, Dad. Just give him a chance. As they all settled on the couch, the atmosphere shifted. Jack found himself grappling not just with Sam's presence but also with the realization of his daughter's aspirations and the soft yet undeniable beckoning of family ties that had felt so distant. Okay, Sam, Jack said, finding his voice steadier than he expected. Tell me about yourself, your dreams. Sam shook off his earlier trepidation, a glimmer of excitement breaking through his nerves. I want to open my own garage with classic cars. That's my dream. As Sam spoke, Jack listened closely, an unexpected connection beginning to form amidst the tales of triumphs, struggles, and laughter. Each shared story seemed to chip away at Jack's walls, revealing parts of himself he felt he buried forever. But in the midst of this budding bond, Jack couldn't shake the feeling that he was on the brink of a revelation far greater than he anticipated, one that might rewrite their family narrative completely. As their laughter filled the room, a thought flickered at the back of Jack's mind. He was about to discover not just who Sam was, but how his existence could turn his own life upside down. What would unfold when their worlds collided even more dramatically? Would the truth about the past set them free, or would it tear them apart? Jack leaned back, his heart still pounding as he absorbed Sam's words. The kid had a fire in his eyes, that same fire Jack once carried before the world, with its relentless demands, dulled it into a faint flicker. It was achingly familiar, almost like looking in a mirror that had fogged over. What kind of cars? Jack found himself asking, the question slipping out before he could second-guess himself. The classics, Sam replied, his face lighting up. You know, Mustangs, Camaros, the kind of cars with a soul. They have stories just like us, right? Jack nodded slowly, a smile creeping onto his face, warming him from the inside. The passion in Sam's words sent ripples through Jack's carefully constructed walls. And for a moment, just a moment, he felt a twinge of desire to get involved. But doubt surfaced like a wave crashing on the shore. Getting a garage isn't easy, Jack warned gently. You need money, space, and a lot of perseverance. I know, Sam replied earnestly, but I've done my homework. I've saved up, worked odd jobs. Besides, my uncle has a lift we can use. Lily watched the exchange with a mix of hope and excitement, her eyes bouncing between her dad and Sam. See, Dad? Yes, trying so hard. Just like you did when you were my age. Jack felt his heart twist. It scares me. You know? Why? Sam's voice was steady, searching. Because it's hard? Because you think you're too old? Or because you're scared of getting hurt? The truth of Sam's words hit Jack like a splash of cold water. How could this teenager, this boy, see right through him? The vulnerability he felt now was unnerving, and he caught himself staring blankly at the floor, suddenly overwhelmed. I think he started, then paused. He couldn't allow the weight of the past to inundate the budding relationship right before him. I lost myself somewhere along the way. Lily scooted closer to Jack, her tiny hand wrapping around his. You can find yourself again, Dad. Just like Sam is finding himself. Who says you can't do both? Sam chimed in. You still have dreams. You just need to remember what they are. Jack looked at Sam, this boy who reminded him of his younger self, and felt an aching tug at his heart. Sam was not only digging through Jack's painful past. He was offering a handout of hope, a chance to ignite those dreams once more. Could he take the risk? Could he start to rebuild what he had buried so deeply beneath years of neglect? He looked at his daughter, their hopes woven together in this tiny living room, and felt a spark of courage. "Okay," Jack said, his voice steadier now. "Let us talk about some ideas about your garage. I'd like to help." Lily beamed, her cheeks glowing with joy. "Really?" "Yeah, really." Jack couldn't help but chuckle. "But only if you help me, too. Maybe we both need to find our dreams again." Sam grinned widely. "That sounds perfect. We can work together." As they began brainstorming, each idea exchanged seemed to lift their spirits higher. Laughter filled the room as they tossed around wild ideas, the air lightening with every burst of enthusiasm. But deep down, a cloud of uncertainty loomed. Jack couldn't shake the feeling that diving into this relationship with Sam would unveil secrets he wasn't ready to face. What would it mean to finally confront the dreams and fears that had haunted him for too long? The laughter softened, and Sam seemed to sense the shift. "Hey Jack, if we're doing this together, we should also talk about what drives us, right? Our stories will help us build something real." 45 minutes into their vibrant conversation, the mood had transformed. Yet a subtle tension hovered, a reminder of the fragile threads tying them all together: the past, present, and the uncertain future ahead of them. Jack felt an unsettling pull. Was he truly ready to face what lay ahead? As they delved deeper into their plans, he could feel secrets swirling just beneath the surface, teetering on the brink of revelation. Would this connection to Sam bring the healing he so desperately sought, or would it fracture their already tenuous bond even more? Painfully, the moment felt charged, and Jack knew they were just getting started. The next evening, Jack found himself pacing the cluttered small living room, the setting sun spilling warm orange hues through the window. He couldn't shake the lingering thrill of yesterday's conversation. Ideas about Sam's garage swirled around in his mind, mixing with the scraps of his own long-buried dreams. Auto shows, the smell of gasoline, and the sound of revving engines danced mockingly in the background. Lily was humming to herself in the kitchen, deep in her own art project, blissfully unaware of her father's internal battle. He glanced at her, grateful for her presence and the lightness she brought. She was his anchor, even when he felt adrift. "What do you think about cars, Lily?" he called out, half joking, hoping to keep the spark alive. Lily poked her head around the doorway, her face smeared with markers. "I like them. Can we paint a car picture together? I bet it'll be a super cool classic." Her enthusiasm was infectious. "Sure, let us do it," he replied, the smile returning to his face. After gathering supplies, they set up at the kitchen table. As they painted and laughed, Jack found himself connecting dots he hadn't noticed before, each brushstroke a reminder of lightness he had lost. Each draft of old aspirations unfolded like new petals sprouting from the ground. As Lily mixed colors, Jack's mind wandered back to Sam. How could he get involved in that world? After all, layering dreams was what they needed to do to mesh theirs together and see what emerged. Just then, the sound of excitement from outside broke through his thoughts, making him look up. Sam stood outside, waving wildly, his enthusiasm radiating through the front door. "Hey Jack, ready to rock?" Sam called as he bounded up the steps, his presence a tide of energy that washed away Jack's hesitation. With a quick glance at Lily, who was grinning ear to ear, Jack opened the door, inviting the boy into their sanctuary. "Hey Sam, what's cooking?" Jack asked casually, noting the way Sam's eyes sparkled with ideas. "I was thinking," Sam started, pulling out a notebook that looked well-loved. "We could check out some old garage spaces in town, see if any of them would work for us. Then we can plan a mini getaway to hunt down those classic cars." Jack felt a rush of excitement but then hesitated. The project sounded thrilling, but what about the inevitable bumps along the way? "That all sounds fun," but Sam cut him off, recognizing Jack's trepidation. "But what, Jack? You want to dream again, right? Let's just take it step by step. You've been talking about getting back into a routine. This could give you motivation. Motivation. The word reverberated in Jack's mind. Sam was so right, but could he handle the pressure? The idea of failure, of locking horns with his past, gripped him tighter than expected. Together, we can figure things out. Sam's bright voice broke through Jack's spiral of doubt. It's about passion, building cool stuff. Trust me, man. I'm all in with you. The boy's genuine offer rang true. Jack glanced toward Lily, who now beamed with excitement. Okay, he finally said, the words tasting foreign and yet refreshing. Let us scout some garages. Lily jumped from her chair, grabbing Sam's hand. This is going to be so much fun. As they began to pull on shoes and gather their things, Jack felt a wave of warmth envelop him, a sense of family blooming in the air. Maybe he wasn't just there to help Sam. Maybe this venture would also serve as a passageway into healing his own weary heart. However, just as the trio stepped outside, Jack's phone buzzed insistently in his pocket. It was a text from an old friend. Someone from his past he hadn't spoken to in years, someone who knew everything. Jack paused, looking at the screen. Panic swept over him, a frigid chill contrasting the warmth of the moment. What could this mean for their plans? The excitement hung in the air, but Jack realized the fragile thread still tethering him to his old life. Would he be able to move forward now, or would his past come rushing back to haunt him just as he was finally finding his footing? He took a deep breath and glanced at Sam and Lily, waiting, eyes wide with anticipation. Could he really let go? Or was he destined to face the demons that never seemed to fade? And as he hit open on the message, he knew the answer could change everything. Heart-pounding, Jack stared at his phone. The familiar name lit up the screen, sending a jolt of electricity through him, a blast from the past. A name that spoke of memories he thought he could bury, Eric. Once his closest ally, now a ghost of dreams that never came true. Dad, what's wrong? Lily asked, breaking through his trance. Her voice was a balm, soothing yet laced with worry. Jack forced a smile, but he couldn't shake off the heaviness in his chest. Just an old friend, he replied, the words tumbling out like stones. Nothing to worry about. She tilted her head, scrutinizing him as if trying to read the unspoken words tucked in his expression. Sam, meanwhile, was oblivious, excitedly chattering about their plans. That allure of adventure tugged at something deep within him, but the message loomed large. Are you sure? Lily pressed, fingers nervously twirling a strand of her hair. You look like you just smelled spoiled milk. Jack couldn't help but chuckle at her vivid analogy. Thanks, kiddo. I'm all right, really. But as he pocketed his phone, unease twisted inside him like a tight knot. Let us go, Sam chirped, breaking the tension as he bounded down the steps. We can't let a little buzz ruin our day. Against his better judgment, Jack followed, his heart a tug-of-war between past regrets and newfound hopes. The air outside was fresh and fragrant with the approaching summer. As they walked, excitement bubbled around him. Lily's laughter rang out like a buoy ringing in the waves, and Sam animatedly described plans for scouting the perfect garage. First stop, the old mechanic's shop on Broad Street, Sam announced, eyes alight with enthusiasm. Jack felt the beginnings of an eager anticipation swell up inside him. Memories faded as visions of grease-stained hands, the roar of engines, and classic chrome silhouettes filled his mind. As they reached the corner, he could see the old shop peeking from behind a line of elms. The sign swung gently in the breeze, letters faded and cracked just like the relentless passing of time. Look at that place, Lily squealed, dashing ahead. It's perfect. Sam's voice was a melody of possibilities. Jack lingered behind for just a moment, watching his daughter race ahead. Her innocence and thirst for exploration grounded him, but the previous buzz of his phone lingered at the back of his mind like an unwanted shadow. Jack, come on, Sam called, waving him forward. He took a deep breath, pushing aside the weight of the past and stepping into the shop. The scent of oil and metal enveloped him. This was it. This was the embrace of his old dreams. Inside, broken parts lay scattered, dust coating a once thriving space. We can fix this up, Sam said confidently. right? We can make it ours. A flicker of hope ignited in Jack's chest, igniting memories of camaraderie, friendship, and rediscovered passion. Maybe they could really do something special here. Together, Jack said, looking at Sam and Lily with a newfound resolve. We can definitely make it ours. Just as Jack started to speak again, an unexpected sound interrupted their excitement. The door of the shop creaked open, and in stepped a stranger. What are you doing here? The newcomer asked, a guarded look in his eyes, scanning each of them as if he'd walked in on a secret meeting. Jack's heart quickened, a rush of adrenaline hitting him. He recognized that look. It was the same look he had seen too many times before, the one that told him trouble was on the horizon. Who was this person? What did he want? And as the stranger took a step closer, Jack sensed that this encounter could unravel everything he was trying to build. Would his past come crashing down upon him just when he had started to find his way? With a smile frozen upon his face, he braced himself. It was going to be a long day. Jack's heart raced as he observed the stranger. He was tall, maybe in his 30s, wearing a worn leather jacket that seemed to have stories of its own. His eyes darted around the shop before landing on Jack, narrowing as if trying to decipher an old riddle. What are you doing here? The man repeated, his tone hard and unyielding. We're just looking around, Jack stammered, taking a small step forward, trying to project calm, even as anxiety gnawed at him. Lily and Sam hovered close, their youthful curiosity unmistakable but laced with an instinctive awareness of the tension. I used to work here, Jack finally managed, the truth slipping out before he could think better of it. Just wanted to reminisce. The stranger's expression shifted slightly, and Jack caught a flicker of something recognition. Maybe? But it vanished quickly. Renovations one tea come cheap, the man replied sharply, crossing his arms. The owner is Eric? Jack interrupted, the name bursting from his lips before he could contain it. The air thickened as the name lingered, floating between them like a whisper. The stranger's demeanor changed, curiosity softening the edges of his guarded posture. You know Eric? We were friends, Jack said carefully, glancing at Lily and Sam, who were watching the exchange with wide eyes. He was supposed to meet me here. Silence settled in the room, heavy and dense. Jack's mind raced back to the days of planning and promise he had shared with Eric, moments of standing side by side, dreaming of a future bright with potential. But that future felt so far away now, a mirage in the desert of his current life. Why would he want to meet you? The stranger asked, tone now laced with skepticism but softer than before. Jack hesitated, weighing the risk of honesty against the desire to keep his family shielded from the past. Because he promised. We had plans to rebuild. Together. Plans? The stranger scoffed. Do you know how many people have claimed they could rebuild this place since Eric's accident? Accident? Jack's stomach dropped. Is he okay? What happened? The man paused, a shadow crossing his face as memories flickered in his eyes. He disappeared about 5 years ago. The shop went under after. No one still knows where he went. The revelation hit Jack hard, a punch to the gut. Had he been too late? Did he miss his chance to reconcile? Time had slipped through his fingers, and the weight of regret threatened to crush him. The dreams they once shared evaporated into thin air, trailing only memories of laughter and ambition. Listen, Jack began, his voice steadying as he looked the stranger in the eye. If he's out there, I want to help. We can turn this place around again. Eric trusted me once, and I want to honor that. The man studied Jack, slowly unfurling the tightness around his jaw. You really think you can? He asked, a hint of vulnerability sneaking into his tone. I have to try, Jack replied, meeting desperation with determination. For Eric and for my kids. It's time for something new. The stranger hesitated, the weight of what Jack proposed looming large in the air. Just then, Lily stepped forward, her sweet voice breaking the tension. We can be a team. Everyone can help, right, Sam? Before Sam could respond, the stranger chuckled softly, the hard expression softening further. You have a lot of fight in you. Maybe, just maybe, you're what this place needs. Before Jack could fully process this unexpected shift, A sudden loud bang echoed from the back of the shop, startling them all. "What was that?" Lily exclaimed, eyes wide as she instinctively moved closer to Jack. The stranger's gaze snapped to the direction of the noise, his earlier bravado replaced with concern. "We should check it out now." Jack squeezed Lily's shoulder, adrenaline pumping. They were on the edge of something big, but with this unexpected commotion, the stakes were turning dangerously high. What lay waiting for them in the shadows of the shop, and would it steer Jack toward the redemption he craved, or plunge him deeper into chaos? Could that blast from the past lead to something unimaginable? Jack could feel the tension thickening around them, a palpable force intensifying the air as they all turned towards the source of the bang. It had sounded sharp and violent, echoing through the hollow spaces of the shop, almost like a warning shot fired from the thick cloud of lingering memories. "Stay close," he murmured to Lily and Sam, instincts kicking in. He moved toward the back of the shop, the stranger trailing closely behind him. The dim lighting cast long shadows on the walls, and every step Jack took felt like walking deeper into an unknown past. As they approached the back room, the jumbled scent of varnish and dust mixed with something else, something burnt. Jack pushed open a door that creaked in protest. His heart thudded as he discovered old wooden crates strewn across the floor. One of them toppled over, spilling its contents out. Broken glass glinted under the faint light like fractured dreams. "Is everyone?" Jack started to ask before his gaze landed on the figure behind the mess. A young boy, no older than 7, with wide terrified eyes stared back at him. A fire extinguisher lay beside him, its nozzle twisted askew. Jack's heart dropped. "Are you okay?" Jack rushed forward, dropping to his knees as he scanned the boy for any injuries. "I'm fine," the boy exclaimed, voice wavering. "I thought I could help. I wanted to clear it out before you came back." His words rushed together, stumbling over each other as he tried to explain. "I didn't mean to break it." At that moment, Jack caught the sight of something small and slightly singed laying near the boy's feet. It was a framed photo. Picking it up, he could barely breathe as recognition washed over him. There, grinning back at him, was Eric, arms draped around an even younger Jack, an unmistakable camaraderie in their smiles. "This was ours," Jack muttered, holding it up for the boy to see. "Do you know him?" The boy's eyes brimmed with confusion, but then he nodded. "Yes, my dad. He has gone." "Isn't he?" The air went still around them. Jack suddenly felt transported back to a time when they were full of hope, before life had twisted into this tangled mess of regrets and lost chances. He is missing," Jack replied softly, emotions swirling within him. "But he left a legacy, a place that still holds the warmth of all the memories." "Do you think he'll come back?" the boy asked, voice breaking slightly. Feeling the weight of the child's innocence, Jack swallowed hard. "I want to believe he will. We need to." His words faltered for a moment as he locked eyes with the boy. "We need to help this place live again. Maybe it's not too late." The stranger stood back, watching the unfolding scene, a thoughtful expression brewing in his sharp features. Jack could see the complexity of emotions running beneath that tough exterior. Maybe the stranger wasn't just a guardian of the past, but a path for new beginnings. The boy's eyes lit up with a spark of hope. "Can we really fix it?" "Yes," Jack replied firmly. "Together we can. This place deserves another chance. And so does your dad." Lily and Sam exchanged glances, the gravity of the moment sinking in, as they began to reimagine the tiny spark of what it meant to create and reclaim. Hope ignited in Jack's chest, but it mingled with uncertainty. Would this newfound determination be enough to change their fate? Suddenly, a powerful gust rattled the shop, flinging the door open wider as if something were trying to enter. The stranger stepped back, eyes wide. "What now?" he whispered, taken aback. Jack's heart raced. What awaited outside that door? The answer seemed to hang heavy in the air, and he could feel the line between the past and present blurring even more. "Let us find out," Jack said, determination fueling him. Together, they all moved toward the open door, where the unknown lingered like a lighthouse calling them home. Would they discover a path to reclamation or plunge into yet another unyielding storm? The wind howled as they crossed the threshold, a wild rush that pulled at their clothes and set their hearts racing. Jack stepped out first, scanning the grounds beyond the shop. The street was strangely quiet, the usual hum of the city muted as if it had paused to witness what was about to unfold. Is it safe? Lily clutched Sam's arm, eyes darting around, searching for something to ease her growing anxiety. Jack took a deep breath, the chill slicing through him, but he stood tall. I think we have to face whatever's out there, he said, voice steadying with resolve. We've come too far to back down now. The boy followed close behind, a tiny warrior fueled by trust and hope. His small hand slipped into Jack's, grounding them both. What if I get scared? He whispered, the tremor in his voice tightening Jack's chest. Jack squeezed the boy's hand gently. You're stronger than you know. We all are. Together, they moved into the open air, past the creaking door. Jack turned to see the stranger step out too, a flicker of uncertainty playing across his face. Stick together, he murmured, the command echoing the gravity of their situation. Beyond the door, the world felt both familiar and foreign. Memories danced in the corners of Jack's mind, Eric's laughter, the days they spent creating dreams out of nothing. But now, those dreams felt far away, replaced by the aching question of the boy's future. Was it possible to rebuild what had been lost? As they stepped into the fading daylight, Jack's gaze locked onto a figure standing at the end of the alley. It was an unexpected silhouette, a woman with flowing golden hair that caught the light. She turned slowly, revealing a gentle expression that radiated warmth amidst the wind's bite. Mom? The boy gasped, his small body stiffening with surprise. The moment hung in the air, charged with emotion. Jack's heart pounded as he exchanged glances with Lily and Sam. Could this woman be the answer to the boy's questions? Was she part of the legacy Eric had left behind? As the woman took a hesitant step forward, relief and uncertainty filtered through the group. I've been looking for you, she spoke softly, her voice trembling as if it carried a weight it was desperate to let go. Is he really gone? The boy's voice quavered, eyes shiny with unshed tears. Tension gripped Jack's insides. He could feel the emotion in the air, thickening like fog. We don't know for sure, he said, finding his voice despite the lump in his throat. But we're here to help. The woman's gaze lingered on Jack, recognition sparking in her eyes. Jack? Is that you? He nodded slowly. It's been a long time. A flicker of hope ignited in the boy's gaze. Are you going to help us too? With a solemn nod, she moved closer, kneeling to meet her son's eyes. We're going to uncover the truth. Together. Something profound shifted in Jack. A sense that this might not just be a chance to rebuild the shop, but a chance to rebuild lives, his own included. But as the remnants of the past stirred around them, Jack couldn't help but feel the weight of uncertainty pressing down. What if the storm's haven passed? He murmured, his heart heavy with doubt. As the words left his mouth, a crack of thunder echoed in the distance, and dark clouds began to loom over them. The storm was not just in the sky. It was in their path, threatening yet inviting, much like the journey they were now embracing. Then we faced them together, the woman replied, her voice like a beacon cutting through the darkness. We have to believe that it's worth it. Jack knew he was on the brink of something bigger than himself. What could they discover in the depths of their search? Would facing the storms lead to healing or deeper heartache? They had taken the first step outside the confines of the shop, but the path ahead remained shrouded in mystery. What awaited them in the uncharted landscape, and could they truly reclaim their lost spirit? The woman's gaze held a question, a glimmer of hope encased in uncertainty. Jack could feel the weight of the moment pressing in around them like the clouds gathering above. The boy's eyes showed a mix of yearning and fear, all wrapped up in the fragile thread of hope that his mother's return had brought. Mom, where have you been? Sam's voice barely broke the silence, but it carried an entire lifetime of questions. Jack glanced at Lily, whose expression was a reflection of his own mix of worry and encouragement. They were all grasping for answers, each heartbeat amplifying the tension. I thought I lost you, the woman said, her voice breaking softly. She brushed a tear away from her cheek, and Jack could sense the gravity of what she had been through. Everything went wrong after your father disappeared. The storm clouds swirled overhead, casting ominous shadows that mirrored the turmoil within each of them. Jack watched as the boy stepped forward timidly, pulling the woman towards him, as if to bridge the years that had pulled them apart. "Can you tell me what happened? Why you left?" Sam's innocence tugged at Jack's heart. The boy was searching for closure, wrapping up loose ends, and yet he was standing on the brink of deeper pain. "We ran from it, Sam. Everything changed when your dad started getting close to something dangerous. I thought it was safer for you if we split." I thought. Her voice faltered, swallowed by pain. Jack could see a storm building within her as she grappled with the ghost of guilt. "Safer?" The boy's voice rose, a mixture of frustration and sorrow. "It wasn't safer. It just made things worse." Jack stepped closer, ready to intervene. "Sam, it's okay. She didn't know," he said gently, the words hovering in the air, trying to soothe the raw emotions spiraling around them. But the boy shook his head defiantly. "I thought we could be a family again. Now I don't even know." Tears glimmered in his big eyes. Jack's heart clenched. He had never wanted to be a substitute for what Sam was truly seeking. The woman knelt down to meet Sam's gaze, her own voice thick with regret. "I never wanted to hurt you. I wanted to keep you safe. I wanted to come back. We will find your dad, I promise." With hope simmering uneasily in the air, Jack sensed something shifting, a flicker of brightness amidst the storm. But could they really face what was waiting for them? The air crackled all around, charged with unspoken truths and heartbreak. "Let us go then," Sam said suddenly, determination hardening his small frame. "If we're gonna find Dad, we need to start right now." Jack's heart raced as he realized they were stepping into the unknown, each of them clutching onto hope, desperately trying to navigate through the darkness ahead. "You're right," he said, feeling the weight of his own doubts. "But we need a plan. How can we find him?" The woman looked between Jack and Sam, and Jack could see her resolve building. "I have some ideas. If we retrace his steps, maybe we can uncover where he went and what he found." As they moved away from the shop's threshold, the wind picked up, a reminder of the pending storm. Jack could feel the urgency creeping in, a sense of something volcanic, something ready to erupt. It was unsettling yet strangely exhilarating. Just as they turned down the alley, the ominous rumble of thunder echoed, drowning out the words that had already started to surface. "Sam," Jack whispered, "remember, whatever we face, we do this together." As they marched ahead, with shadows closing in, Jack couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. What was hidden in the folds of this storm? And what truths lay waiting buried in the secrets of the past, just beyond their reach? The storm rumbled ominously overhead, as if echoing the tumult of Jack's heart. The future was a shadowy tapestry woven from strands of grief, hope, and an overwhelming desire for connection. Together they walked, now bound not just by purpose but by a newfound understanding. Lily, her small hand clasped firmly in Jack's, quickened her pace, her spirit untouched by the heavy clouds that loomed. "We'll find Dad," she declared with the certainty only a child could possess. Her optimism bubbled bright, and Jack felt a spark ignite in his chest. "Yes, we will," he echoed, more to himself than anyone else. The weight of the unknown pressed in around them, but as they stepped onto the larger street, there was a shared resolve between them. The woman, still collecting herself, took a deep breath and glanced at Jack. "I know he was close to something big before he disappeared," she began, her voice steadying with each word. "He mentioned a warehouse, something he was working on. He wanted to keep it hidden until he figured it out, until it was safe." "Where?" Jack asked, the urgency of the moment coursing through him. "Old Mill Road," she replied, her eyes searching Jack's for understanding. "It's near the factory district. That S where he often went to think and get away. If we're gonna find him, that S where we start." With a newfound direction, they moved with purpose. The streets felt alive with electricity, their footsteps echoing against the pavement. As they reached a worn path leading to Old Mill Road, Jack could feel a palpable tension in the air. The weight of memories intertwined with fear mingled around them. Dad, what if Sam hesitated, looking back toward the safety of the familiar? What if he's not there? What if we can't find him? Jack knelt to meet Sam's eyes, a warm resolve bubbling within him. Then we keep searching. We're not just seeking Eric. We're also finding our strength, our family. No matter what happens, we do this together. Together, Lily repeated, and Sam nodded, their trio standing steadfast, forming a safety net against the uncertainty. As they approached the old warehouse, the walls loomed tall and intimidating, shrouded in disrepair and silence. Jack felt the cool presence of the wind, almost whispering reminders of his fears. What if he couldn't face the truth? What if he opened old wounds that were never meant to heal? Are you ready? The woman asked, determination etched in her features. She seemed to embody the spirit of every unanswered question, every longing for resolution. Jack cast a glance at Lily and Sam, who looked up at him, eyes vibrant despite the looming shadows. Let us do this, Jack breathed. Walking inside, the dim light filtered through dusty windows, illuminating an untouched world. Piles of crates lined the corners, remnants of a past filled with possibilities. Jack pressed forward, leading the way. The air was thick with tension, promising mystery just beyond their sight. Suddenly, a crunching sound caught Jack's attention. He turned sharply, heart hammering against his ribs. What was that? He whispered, darting his gaze toward the source of the noise. Lily peered over her shoulder, her eyes wide. Came from there. She pointed toward a set of doors leading deeper into the belly of the warehouse. Stay close, Jack instructed, moving cautiously. Each step felt like defiance against the silence that engulfed them. They reached the doors, pushing them open with a heavy creak. Inside lay a cluttered workshop, equipment strewn about as if left mid-task. And then Jack spotted a flicker of familiar movement at the far end of the room. Eric? He called, a mixture of hope and apprehension spilling from his lips. A figure turned, casting shadows across the darkened space. It took a moment, but then Jack's breath hitched in his throat. There stood Eric, weary yet unmistakably alive. Jack! Eric exclaimed, eyes wide with disbelief. You found me! Jack rushed forward, an explosive mix of relief and joy propelling him into an embrace with his old friend. I can't believe it! We thought you. We're gone. I had to disappear, Eric breathed, pulling back to look at Jack. It was for your safety, for Sam S. Things got complicated, but I didn't stop looking for you. Sam stepped forward, tentative yet hopeful. Dad? You're back. We missed you. Eric knelt, eyes filling with tears. I never wanted to leave you. I'm so sorry for everything that happened. Jack watched, feeling layers unravel within him. With each word swirling through the air, he realized that the confrontation with the past had arrived, and it was here to heal not just Eric's absence, but their entire family's story. Together again, Jack said, his voice thick with emotion. Now we can start fresh. As they absorbed the moment, a shift radiated through the group. The storm clouds threatened, but for the first time in years, Jack felt the stirring of something positive. They stood at the crossroads of hopelessness and hope, a family united once more. Jack could feel the light of promise spilling into that dim warehouse, igniting the spirit they had almost lost. Let's South rebuild this place together. We'll make it a home. Eric nodded, glancing around at the forgotten remnants that whispered of lost dreams. Together we'll make it a legacy. Lily and Sam joined hands, encircling both men with unyielding support. No more hiding, Lily declared with a fierce gleam in her eyes. As the storm clouds loomed in the sky, Jack's heart swelled with renewed purpose. The echoes of the past merged with the light of their newfound hope. This felt like the dawn of something incredible. Jack motioned toward the door, ready to step into the world beyond. Let us get to work. Together, they embraced the storm that loomed ahead. It was the storm of promises and dreams, fragile but fierce, just waiting for the sunshine that followed. Now was the time to build anew. And with unified hearts, They took their first steps toward not just repairing a place, but reviving the very spirit that had always connected them, the spirit of family, resilience, and love. Now you have the chance to be part of this journey. Subscribe immediately to the channel to not miss the next exclusive stories. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm. Comment your reactions and feelings about this inspiring ending. And for those who need a little transformation in their lives, share instantly this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this uplifting story. This is the moment to show your support. Don't wait not even one more second to share. Only true fans understand the importance of acting now.